Hey guys, Simon here, and thanks for stopping by my channel and checking out what I got going on today. Today we will be talking about Friday the 13th the game and a specific idea I talked about in my first 10 new features to add to the video game. That idea being a playable Pamela game mode, which would see the developers put Pamela Voorhees in the game as a playable killer for a sneaky game mode where you must blend in with the group to the best of your abilities, silently dispatch each counselor before they are able to open the camp that is responsible for your son's death. If you enjoy the video, do the button thing, subscribe, and leave a comment. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the counselors and what they will be doing in this game mode. The match will start with 8 counselors, one of them being Pamela hiding among the group. As a way to help prevent cheating and the toxic community we all know so well, no player names will appear over characters during this game mode and you will be unable to send messages to help prevent cheating and giving away who Pamela is. I know this probably won't help prevent it all the way, but people are dicks and I felt like adding things to help prevent the possibility of this happening. The objective of the group is to get the camp ready for opening by completing 13 objectives on the map. This includes several different tasks, some of which require 2 players. If they complete 13 objectives, then they win and the camp will open and Pamela loses. The 13 objectives for the camp counselors to complete will be as follows and stays true to the movie as well. One of the first and most important things campers need to get done is to get the generator running, which works like the car with one change. The items you need for the generator are the gas, the pull cord, and the keys. Pull cord being the change instead of the battery. Once done, you can start the generator and have power to the camp. However, this can be sabotaged by Pamela but is easily repaired by a counselor. By having power, it allows you to call the cops, and cutting the line obviously makes it so you can't. A note on calling the cops here. You can't just call the cops to call them in this game mode. Unless you witness Pamela attacking someone, you are attacked, or you find a dead body, you will not be able to call the cops because there's no reason to call them. However, Pamela can cut the power cord whenever she wants to prevent being caught. The second objective set is the items needed to get the lake ready. This involves doing a few things. Move 2 canoes to the lakeside, which requires 2 players in order to move one of them. Move 4 life vests to the lakeside. 2 vests count as one objective, up to a total of 2 objectives total if you get all 4 vests to the lakeside, which involves finding them randomly in the houses. Move 4 rafts to the lake and make a dock for the lake. This you need all 4 to complete. Also, 2 docks count as one objective up to a total of 4 docks. First you have to get 2 docks there, and then once there and you get the other 2 there, you have to set up the complete dock in order to get the second objective set. The other 2 things are to get the rope line and set it up in the lake so no one drifts out too far and drowns like, you know. And then to set up the tire swing for the lake, which also requires 2 players. The third set of things to do is to get the camp fireplace ready, which involves nothing more than cutting wood, moving it in a wheelbarrow to the fire spot, and then setting it up for the nighttime. Which shouldn't be that hard. And then there are a few random objectives to do if some of the camp counselors are killed and you can't complete the 2-player objectives. Just an FYI here, there are a total of 18 objectives I have created, 4 of which require 2 players to complete, so even if you don't do the ones that require 2 players, you can still complete the game mode and win the match. These other last objectives are, move a tree stump, which requires 2 players, stock the food pantry, get the kitchen ready, and nail up gutters, which also requires 2 players. The final objective is, paint 3 doors red. If players can get 13 of these objectives complete without being killed or time running out, they win and the camp opens. The cops will then show up and arrest Pamela, because they will find the body of the dead camp counselor she killed to take her place among the group. Campers could also call the cops to come arrest Pamela. However, as I explained, you can't just call them until Pamela tries to kill you, or you see her try to kill someone else, or you find a dead body. Once called, they will come in a time limit similar to the regular game mode, and running to them will work mostly the same way. You can also use the 4-seater to escape to win by finding the parts. However, Pamela can also drive the car, so be careful, because she can drive you right into the lake, killing you. Along with driving the car, she is also able to hide out in it. Similar to how counselors can hide in closets or under beds, Pamela can hide in the backseat of the car, and when you finally get in to start it up, bam, she cuts your throat. As a side note on the car, Pamela is hiding among the group and gets in the car with you as a friend. You will not be able to escape in the vehicle. The closer you get to the exit will increase Pamela's craziness, and if the player does not perform an act in the car, such as a kill of their own, a voiceover will begin to play, and the computer will select a random player to attack and kill, causing the car to stop and everyone to exit. This also allows everyone to know who Pamela is that was traveling in the car, so it's a fair give and take if you like the risk, or there is only one person to escape with. Likewise, if Pamela is driving, the same thing will occur where a voiceover will play the closer you get to the exit, and she will stop the car and attack you. Last way to win is to kill Pamela. This involves finding out which player is her and then fighting her. You will need to knock Pamela down to the ground 3 separate times. Upon the 3rd time, her head will start to bleed, which indicates that you can now kill her, which requires the machete. Cut off her head and you win the match and the game is over. You will lose if you get killed, time runs out, all counselors get killed, and the 13 objectives are not met before time runs out. That is pretty much the counselors in a nutshell. The normal items that show up on the map, such as first aid spray, walkie-talkie, flare gun, weapons, and such will remain the same and work in the same way minus the shotgun because it has no place in the first movie or this game mode. Yes, pocket knives can work, however there will only be 2 on each map, and they will stab Pamela in her hand, not in her neck. Also, team killing and friendly fire will be disabled for this game mode, so you can't kill random players just cuz. You can shoot the flare gun at Pamela, but it will not set her on fire. It will just mark her on the map, and if other players don't know who the killer is, if they are close enough to spot her while she is hit with the flare gun, it will also allow that player to then know that she is the killer. However, there will only be 1 flare gun for the map, making sure no one uses it like an ass pie. Keep in mind also that these objectives will be spread out on the maps. Not all 3 doors to paint will be by each other, and the life vests could be spread out among all the cabins, along with the docks and other items. Things such as firewood and the wheelbarrow to move the wood would be found in closer proximity to one another. Things like the tire swing, gutters, tree stump, and other tasks that require 2 players need specific items like a ladder, hammer, or nails, or a rope to tie around the tree stump and pull it out. Perhaps maybe even make the tree stump a 4-player requirement, but have it count as 2 objectives total. The nice idea of all of this is that it is still flexible for change if certain things do not work out as well as I have described them. So this takes us to the next part of the game mode. How will playing Pamela work and what types of things can she do? One random player will be chosen to be Pamela, which they will find out once the match starts. Her character loadout will be different, along with a message that says, "You are Pamela Voorhees" on your screen. You will look like whatever counselor you chose until someone sees you kill someone or you are exposed for who you really are. Until that point, you will appear as a counselor. After that, you will appear as Pamela, or to avoid the whole character rights thing, just keep the counselor without changing the appearance, just add her signature sweater to the character. Just an idea for now. From the start of the match, your only objective is to kill every counselor to prevent the camp from opening on your son's birthday. You can easily blend into the group and it works to your benefit to do so. Team up with players for the 2 people objectives and find a way to dispatch them before they can complete the task. Use your abilities to sow fear and doubt among the group so no one trusts anyone, and then use that mistrust to dispatch the rest of your victims. The only way for you to be exposed as the killer are if a player escapes you when you try to kill them and then they tell the others, a player witnesses you kill someone else or attempts to kill someone, or someone escapes you and tags you with the flare gun close to other players on the map, signaling that they know you are the killer. Otherwise, after every kill, if unwitnessed, you can keep going along with the lie that you are not the killer and somebody else did it. Hell, you can even lie and say you saw so-and-so close to them before the so-and-so died. However, if a player escapes you, that is bad news. That player can do a couple of things. First, they can call the cops on you, but Pamela, as I said before, is able to cut the line to prevent this, but it can also be repaired. And you need to find the phone to call them, as the location of all objectives and items on the map will change from game to game. Second, as I said earlier, they can let other players know who you are. If you have a walkie-talkie and other players do too, you can say whatever happened to you and anyone with a walkie-talkie will know who the killer is and that they are able to call the cops also. However, this can only happen 15 seconds after you have escaped from Pamela trying to kill you. This way it gives the killer a chance to still dispatch the counselor and gives the player a 15 seconds of fear to get their wits about them so they can decide if they want to live. The other way to let people know is to be the same small space and talk over the mic to let them know. Again, this does a couple things. It makes players use mics to communicate more and helps make the community work as a team. Once the 2 are close enough in proximity to one another, the game will alert the player of who the killer is and it will show up on their map once they're close enough to that player. Now, I know if players have walkie-talkies, then it will be easier for them to let other players know who Pamela is, so everyone will try to get one and start the match with one to help combat this. Again, I will limit the number of walkie-talkies on the map to a total of 3, and you are not allowed to use the perk that will let you start with one. Again, this keeps in touch with the movies because no one was aware of what was going to happen at camp that night. And this isn't 2017 where every asshole on the planet can afford a cell phone or has the money to buy ridiculous things like that. These kids are going to camp, for God's sakes. The 15-second fear timer I talked about is there to give Pamela a second chance at a botched kill because she is not as strong or tough as Jason, nor does she have his otherworldly abilities, and because I think in real life, it would take you a few seconds to get your wits about you if somebody tried to kill you. Again, this can change depending on character stats and perks, or possibly new perks designed for the game, but I'm just trying to cover all my bases here. So what else should Pamela be doing during this time, and what abilities can she perform? Pamela will have 4 abilities just like Jason that will unlock slowly over the match. She'll start off with Sprinter. She will be able to sprint just as good or better than most counselors. The reason being that she is not supernatural and has no otherworldly powers. Giving her the ability to sprint helps her cover a lot of ground and chase down counselors that are super fast because she will not be able to morph all over the map. It also makes the 15-second fear clock a real threat. Imagine if she can just run you down, which she can easily do. She should have a 9 or 10 for speed and be able to run down every counselor to prevent them from telling her secret. Think Tommy Jarvis running. This makes it so counselors can't do the whole run and stop, gain stamina back, and then repeat thing, or doing the whole window jumping thing over and over and over and over again. Chances are she will be able to run into that house just as fast and grab you before you can get up and jump back out the window and run down the hall. Maybe she can even follow you through windows up to a limited number of times to prevent her being overpowered. Plus, she is not super strong and tough like Jason. She can be knocked down and beat, but neither is she a pushover either. She should be able to hold her own one-on-one against others, but a well-placed hit can take her down. If you think that is unfair, think of those times when some random guy tagged you as Jason and you were down for the count. Activating this will give you the extra speed you need, so don't give yourself away when running around as a slow counselor. Just be sure not to sprint all the time, giving yourself away. Pickpocket is the second ability she will have. Allow her to steal items from counselors so they have to pay more attention to what is going on. If Pamela can steal the car keys from you, drop them in the lake, and then kill you when you are, I don't know, just jerking around, where does that leave your plan? Or perhaps she will take your walkie-talkie and then kill you, but drag it out a little, letting you think you could expose her, but then she reveals that she stole your walkie-talkie from you right before you entered that last house. Again, this only helps to add to the excitement and fear of the match. The third ability she should be given will allow her to enter houses and search the drawers with wicked intent. If a med spray is found, she can perform a little mini game on it and poison the bottle. This way, if she hurts a counselor and is chasing them down, if that counselor is unlucky enough to grab a med spray she poisoned, then instead of healing, it will hurt, possibly dealing that final blow that will kill you and helping her to chase your slow ass down. Being as this ability could be seen as overpowered or too much, perhaps a limited number of times of how many times she can use it should be added. Maybe only 3. The fourth ability is the big ticket item. This ability has a few uses, so let me walk you through them. First off, it's your last ability, so you will need to live long enough in the match to get it. Simple enough to do, sometimes. However, let's say it's the first few minutes into the match and you botched an attempted kill and they get away and now everyone knows who you are and they are hunting your ass like Predator. If you can manage to live and get this ability, then all your hopes and dreams can come true because it will allow them to no longer see you as the killer and will turn you into another counselor or just erase the indicator for who you are, thus giving you a second chance at killing everyone. This is not its only use though. Let's say everything is going fine, but someone found a dead body. Now they have called the cops and there is nothing you can do about it. Or is there? Disguise also has the added use, if you don't use it the first way I described, of impersonating the cops that arrive on scene. So it works like this. The cops are called and they arrive. You think, oh my god, they're here, I'm so happy, more experience, here I come. As you are about to make the exit, you are stopped in your tracks as the officer approaches you, but then Pamela grabs you. The flashing cop lights stop, you see a dead body in the car with its throat slashed, and now you are being killed by Pamela as she is the person walking towards you. This will only be good for maybe 1 or 2 kills and then the gig is up. But this ability keeps in the game mode of, who can I trust? Who is the killer? Should I go here? Should I do this? While also keeping the spirit of the original movie alive. No one knew Pamela was the killer. The counselor she originally picked up in the beginning of the film and then chases down had no idea what she was going to do or who she was. Showing up at the end with Alice was the same thing. Alice thought this woman was here to help her and then she turned on her. The entire game mode is supposed to be like that movie. For you to get to camp, get it ready, but once the killing starts, it becomes who can I trust and what should I do? Along with this, she will also have a few other character skills to help her in the match. These skills being, she can hide in hiding spots like counselors to help her hide when she needs to, and to also help her dispatch players. She can also hide in the car as I described earlier. She can search drawers to help with the illusion of her being a real player, but she can only loot med sprays, and then only to poison them and put them back. She can also pickpocket players, but if she takes an item, it becomes destroyed except for med sprays and the keys, which again, she can hide in the drawer. Once her limit of poison is up, the sprays will be destroyed like other items. She can drive the car, but not escape in it, but can drive it into the lake, which will result in Counselor's death, because she will lock the doors and exit it before it goes into the water. Also, if she sits behind the driver in the car, she can kill him while he is driving, destroying the car beyond repair and making it unable to run again, sometimes, which would give a possible death chance to those in the car also, or leading to injury. She can slap and grab or throw people. This is just her simple combat matchup. She doesn't have Jason's power and strength, but she could handle herself and toss around a few people, so I gave her melee slaps and a grab and push along with a slash. This way, as she is ganged up on, she might be able to grab and toss someone out of her way so she can run away and hide. Also, she always has a knife on her for any type of throat slash or stab type kill, as this is her main weapon. She can also pick up an axe to use on the map, as it was one of the weapons she used in the original movie. Well guys, that is the game mode as I see it. I tried my best to make sure the match would be fair and balanced, but since I am not a game developer or tester of any nature, who knows. What I do know is most of the things I have talked about are already in the game and would just need some recoding to be able to work with the game to be able to use as I described, such as the life vests, firewood, and such. Some things would need to be added of course, but overall I believe this could be a very real possibility for this type of match. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, please let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate all the time you guys have spent watching my videos and sharing them with friends, and even more the comments you leave. Again, let me know what your thoughts are, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks again.